Okay, we're going to look at something called the vanishing point tool. So one of the problems that artists and photographers often face is being able to draw something correctly in perspective or in using a vanishing point. And we used to do this in Photoshop, and then they created a tool specifically for mapping and drawing along a perspective grid. Let's take a look. All right, so here we are inside of our photograph, and I've taken the car that was in this building out. Here's the original picture. And then I clone stamped and took the car out of the picture. What I'm going to do now is go up and go into the vanishing point tool and go to filter, vanishing point. Grab the magnifying glass, zoom in a bit. So the way this works is that I draw a perspective grid over the image, and then I'm able to paint into that perspective grid. So you literally start at the top here and work your way down. So I'm going to start with the create plane tool, and I click to set up my plane. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click on each corner of the area I want to modify, and I want that create plane to be blue. I don't want it to be yellow or red. It has to be blue. Now I'm just going to grab that nodule in the center and drag that outwards to the left, and there's my perspective that I'm going to be painting into. And I'm going to take this building and remove the empty lot on the side by copying this building over. Now I can do that with either a marquee selection or with the clone stamp tool. I'm going to use the marquee selection first. I'm going to click on that marquee selection tool, draw down a selection of the front of that building. There's my selection. Now I'm going to copy this data over by holding down the Alt key. I'm going to click and drag and just drop that over again, like so. I have to position it. Now, if I wanted this to be totally convincing, I'd have to clone stamp this awning here, which really wouldn't be that much work. And then I can just hold down the Alt key, click and drag, and drop it in again. And so that's how you use that tool. I'm going to step backwards. And in addition to that, I can also use the clone stamp tool. So I grab the clone stamp tool, hold down the Alt key, click and select a point, and I can paint and make a selection, turn the selection off. Grab that clone stamp tool, Alt click, and paint using the clone stamp tool as well. So I can use either one of those tools to paint into perspective, whichever one makes most sense. Step backwards. In this case, the selection and the copying of the data worked a bit better. I'm going to undo that. And let's stop here.